What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a few weeks now since I've given you an update on my autocross adventures. It has been a lot of fun so far. I've done 2 weekends, so I'll probably break this down by weekend. But I've learned a lot, and I'd like to go over what has helped me a lot in this journey and how much fun I've had so far. So let's just get into it. So the first weekend, 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. Saturday was what's called a test and tune, where you get in there, shake the cobwebs off from the winter, and for me, just kind of get a feel for what I'm supposed to be doing, because Sunday was an actual points race. It was cold and windy on both days, but I had a ton of fun. And I spent about 3 hours the Friday night before the first test in June, really late, trying to get my car back to stock. All right, y'all, it's now 11:22. I think I started at 8 p.m. I just finished buttoning everything up. Glad that job's done. I'm now 100% fully compliant for SCCA. Here's the blow-off valve spacer and the turbo muffler removed. Now it's time to clean this stuff up. So Saturday was the first day on this course, which was pretty cool. It was like cones set up in a parking lot. I wasn't really sure what I was expecting, but I think based on like 2 years ago, I ran through with the Lions Club, and they used part of the oval track that's out there. But the SCCA sanctioned club, I guess, only uses the parking lot, which was cool. There was plenty of space to do a 40 to 50 second run, 35 seconds if you're in a Porsche 911 GT3. But I learned a lot on that first day, and I'd like to go over the top 3 things that I learned on my first test and tune with Autocross. Okay, so all 3 of these things are kind of related. The first is brake and accelerate in a straight line, which kind of makes sense, you know, if you understand a little bit of physics. If you do anything at an angle, you are changing the amount of force that you're trying to do in a straight line. So braking and accelerating in a straight line is the first thing I had to really figure out, which really helped me in the second thing, which is finish your downshift before turning. So on the first weekend, there was this big, it's called a pivot turn, that you enter through a box, you go around the pivot, and then you exit through the same box before entering a slalom. This was the first weekend, and it really helped if you could nail that downshift before going around that pivot, so that you could get some straight line acceleration towards the slalom. It sounds really complicated. It's kind of funky to do if it's your first time downshifting from second into first, which that's not really something I'm used to as a normal driver, but it was very challenging. So if you could nail braking in a straight line, finishing your shift, and then turning, you could really hit that pivot a lot faster than those who could not do it, like me. I was probably the slowest in our run group that first weekend, which is okay. It was my first weekend, and I was running on mismatched all seasons, as I think I alluded to in the previous video. So after that pivot cone, it brought me to a slalom. Now, I've never ever in my life done a slalom before, and there are different variations of slalom, which I soon learned, right? There are slaloms where the cones are evenly spaced. There are slaloms where the cones start wider and get narrower as you get to the end. And then there are slaloms that start narrow and get wider as you go along. So what I learned is you don't want to be stepping on the gas hitting the brake, stepping on the gas, hitting the brake as you're going through the slalom, because naturally that's kind of what you want to do as a like normal everyday driver. But what you need to do to get through a slalom is try and maintain a constant speed throughout and use your momentum to kind of weave in and out of the cones. That was a very difficult concept for me to grasp, but I think starting to get it. Even on my second weekend, I still did a little bit of speed up and braking, but being conscientious of that as you're going through a slalom is going to help you immensely. So my first weekend was a lot of fun. That was mostly the first day was a test and tune where I had some more experienced drivers ride passenger seat in my car and kind of tell me, hey, stay on the gas, stay on the gas. Okay, downshift, brake. Like that was hugely helpful.
Nice and wide. There we go. Oh, we missed the box. Oh. That's okay, keep going, keep going. We practiced the rest of the course anyway.
I think the last few years I've been really afraid to just start because I didn't want to fail. I didn't know what to expect, so I just never really started, when in reality I should have just gone to have fun and learn how to drive because it was a lot of fun. So in the next video, I intend on talking about what I learned in my second weekend of racing, which was, again, a lot of fun. I got better. It was a points race on Saturday and advanced driver school on Sunday. Learned so much more that weekend and made some modifications to my car between the first weekend and the second weekend, which I'll talk to in the next video. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to smash that subscribe button, hit like, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.